We're going to do it. Just you. We're going to do it. We're going to go live this fine Wednesday. Hello, people. Hello, wonderful people out there, community members, Epic curious people, Epic savvy crypto folks. Welcome to the show. Let me make sure this isn't going to blow me out, and it's not, so that's good. Hey, it's Wednesday, one of my two favorite days of the week, where we do an Epic Cash Live at noon Eastern. I have Max Freeman with me. He's founder of the Epic Cash Protocol, and otherwise, he's just a chief plate spinning officer. I don't think anybody spins more plates than Max. I certainly know nobody sleeps less hours than Max. So everybody coming in, welcome to the show. Please smash that like button, subscribe. Anybody who's in there already, right? Keep an eye on that count. If we have 10 watching, we should have 10 subscribing, not 2, or not subscribing, liking. I just like myself. Max, I hope you like yourself and you like the channel too. But like, share, all of that good stuff. We're over 3.3 thousand subscribers, and I have a sneaky suspicion with what's going on. We're going to give you a little peek of the leg, but what's going on over the next few weeks, few months, I think I'm predicting, Max, by the end of the year, I think I'm going to be over 10,000 subs. What do you think? With everything
yeah,
I think that. So look, everybody, this is titled SGT Report Drop. Are you ready? So what does that mean? Report drop? That means the video drop. So Max and I, we were interviewed by Sean. It was an awesome interview last week. And usually his interviews are like 45 minutes. And this one, Max, I think went an hour and a half. And it just took him a lot longer to edit and ultimately render and everything. And so he wanted to delay it so that he could do it right. And we owed him some links. And the interview, I thought, went really well. But what I think matters, not Max, what matters is that Sean reported back to us after he rendered it that it is awesome. So,
and also, I mean, it's like, hear what you say, but I see what you do. And I found it very noteworthy that the allotted time slot was 45 minutes. He's a busy guy, and he told us explicitly right before we got started that he had time pressure and that he didn't want to go long. We were thinking that we would roll the 27-minute presentation, right, and then talk for 18 minutes. And he's like, no, I will watch the presentation. Oh, no, he had already watched the presentation. It really piqued his interest. And he said, I just want to talk, and then I can cut it in later. And so 45 minutes turned into an hour and a half. And then after we stopped recording, I think we were talking to him for at least an hour afterwards. I mean, I was exhausted. I needed to go take a nap after. So he's super stoked. The first time it was kind of, I don't want to say he was humoring us because he did go and use his own hard-earned money to go buy 5,000 coins back at 70 cents. But this time you can tell that it really sunk in. So Sean's ore is in the water and it's wet. And we know that he is connected with other guys like him that respect his opinion, and they've been doing due diligence. There's a number of conversations of people like that whose names we're deliberately not mentioning, but you'll see other high-profile people like that come into our camp here in the very near future.
Well, I just want to say that, first of all, Sean, if you end up listening to this, thank you. You are a very gracious host and you ask great questions. And I think it was interesting. I mean, nobody knows his audience better than him. And we were like, well, we thought we were going to play the 27-minute video or 28-minute video. And he was like, guys, and we start off with that, we're going to lose, 90% of the audience. And so, what I really respect about Sean is he knows that a good majority of his subscriber base are not crypto people, don't understand it necessarily, may not like it at all. They're very much precious metals people. But what they are about is truth. And what appealed to Sean is all of the positive attributes about Epic Cash. Its fungibility, its confiscation resistance, it's surveillance proof, all of these things. And when you start really going down the rabbit hole, it becomes readily apparent there is literally no other asset out there that has everything that we do, all of the positive attributes to create superior money. I do want to say, Max, and I didn't prepare you for this, but I have to show something in the Epic Cash community. We do have a Fudster, and it was interesting. It's a Fudster specifically about you and me. We're getting some real heavy FUD regarding this. So let me just share this with you.
I do tend to fart in elevators, and they're very stinky. Personal hygiene, not my strong suit. So absolutely, yes, bring it on. Guilty as charged.
Well, somebody was asking, somebody came from the SGT report, or I'm sorry, from Mike Adams, and said, hey, I heard about this Max Freeman. Where can I hear more? And so I responded back and I said, we're going to be live streaming in 20 minutes. So please come on by. And then this dude, Bob Chorba, who names their kid Bob Chorba? I don't know, but this is what he had to say. And it was so negative towards you and me. He said, but look, we face all firing lines. He said, be careful out there, though, because it's of Uncle V and Max Freeman that I sold my precious R at $3 and bought some Epic at 30 cents. Look where that got me.
Terrible. I'm sorry we let you down, Bob.
I love that. Bob, I love you. That was funny. That made my day. I got a nice giggle out of that. Well, speaking of giggles, I'm going to try to do like a meme of the week or a meme of the day or whatever, but it's just this Justin Freeman, he is on fire. And I just want to share with you the meme this week that I saw that I'm like, I got to save that and show it on a live stream. But I thought this is so funny. Everybody knows that that the movie Fight Club with Brad Pitt, and it's the first rule of Fight Club. Well, look at this. The first rule of BTC Maxi Club. We don't talk about privacy, fungibility, scalability. Just absorb that, everyone. That is so darn good. I just
we haven't talked about this, but it's such a good idea, and I'm already working on it with Spencer. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Hopefully you're not like, oh, I hate that, it's terrible. But I think that we should do everything we can to make the word of the word of the day. So this BTC Maxi show is coming up at the end of May. I think it's the 18th to 20th, something like that. There's going to be 15,000 people there. And so imagine if there's billboards all over Miami saying fungibility. Just like, and can you imagine if the speakers, Michael Saylor's up on stage and he's just bloviating, thumping his chest about how Bitcoin is the greatest. And, sir, can you tell me what fungibility is, please?
Well, I thought, did you see the meme with the Michael Saylor in a restroom, where the BTC sponsored porta potty had an open door?
Roll that one. Yeah, absolutely.
And the Epic Cash one was private. I'm trying to find it. I can't. But anyway, I think there's a world out there, Max. Tell me if I'm crazy. This would be so damn fun to where outside one of those conferences, where there's traffic, we literally rent these two porta potties, right? To where when people walk by, one would say Epic Cash at the other, and the BTC one would be BTC, and we'd yank the door off of the BTC.
So here, I'm actually I sent you the meme. I just found it, and I'm actually going to show you. I went to I like to do rescue stuff. So there's a bunny rescue place, a cat rescue place. There's like this place called Barn Bunnies Rescue, where it has a farm animals. So I was actually doing field research and I visited their porta potty. This is a little bit gross, so you can show that one. And then I'll show you what I was thinking, and then it will set the stage for the idea that I had, which okay, I can't. Let's see, let me give it one more shot. Okay, I can't find it, but anyway, you can show that one. But imagine if we had a plexiglass porta potty. It would take a little time to get going, but imagine we have two porta potties. We have a black luxury one next to a plexiglass one, and you know, if you want to use it, then you need to pay. If you pay with BTC,
either Epic Cash or BTC, that's great.
If you pay with BTC, it's 30 minutes, 30 and it's $4. You gotta wait, and everybody can see you. Yeah. Right.
Okay, smart, creative people. We need to be able to source a breakdown, you know, some breakdown porta potties that could literally be, you know, kind of our signature out there. But we gotta have somebody. Yeah. I see here, Michael Saylor, and guys, believe it or not, this is his real Bitcoin address. Justa was able to find it. So look, there's Saylor's BTC address, Dad. I think that's me in the Epic Cash shirt. When
I wonder if he got so half of the BTC coins are tainted through the Silk Road. So I wonder if he's holding.
Why do you think he's in the bathroom?
Don't you think? Oh, here's a question for him up on stage. Michael, we've traced your BTC coins through your address that MicroStrategy holds. They've been through the Silk Road. Shouldn't you disclose to your public company shareholders that it's a risk factor that the SEC has gone after people like you? Not that you did anything wrong, but the coins carry the sins of their former owners.
Oh man,
you are required by law to disclose such risks, and you haven't. So maybe you can comment on that, fine sir.
Well, maybe we have somebody out there viewing that would take that research project to see if we could take his address and see if it went through the Silk Road or if any of his coins did. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. So that's fun. I love that stuff. So look, hey man, super excited. The SGT report interview drops today, so we hit on that. But I really think that, I mean, we're already starting to see people that are coming in that somehow got scent of it. So everybody in the Epic Cash, please, this is very important to me and to us, is we're going to start getting a lot more people coming into our lobby, our Epic.me/Epic Cash. And I would like everybody to please remember, we're not only going to have people who are interested and excited or whatever, we're going to have people coming in who are jaded, who, you know, maybe are smarter than the rest of us, who maybe BTC maxis, I don't know. But let's take the high road in our engagement with these folks that come in. Let's try to professionally answer all of their answers, and let's not get what's the word I'm looking for, Max? Let's not behave like a BTC.
Let's not stoop to their level.
Yeah. So nothing but respect. Let's direct them where we need to. We have amazing admins who will be looking, and if anybody is just, you know, getting out of line and we smell a rat or whatever, somebody wanting to just pee in our pool, we'll take care of it. But let's just do our best to help people. I want to do something before we do this. You know what? I ordered this, Max. You know what this is? This is an oar in the water. You know. And
you know, I thought you've seen that movie. What's that one? The Christian Grey, like the Seattle. You know the one I'm talking about, like the sex dungeon movie. You know what I mean? That one. Anyway, story from another time.
Okay.
It'll come to me.
let me rewind. 90 seconds. Here's my oar in the water opportunity to where I'm going to always be on the lookout in the community of people who are putting their oar in the water and doing that lead with your chin, not your hand out. And I want to acknowledge his name is, let me do this.
While you're looking, 50 Shades of Grey. That's the one I was looking for.
Oh, 50 Shades of Grey. Okay. Let me go to this. All right. So this is, goodness, it is, I need to write it down. It's in our Telegram. It's NGN Epic Leader 1. So if anybody looks at this and wants to right darn now, go give the leader of Nigeria an Epic bot tip, please do. And it would be tip at NGN, and he'll pop up, Epic Leader 1. And then however you want to tip him. I'm also going to show after this his QR code from his Vite wallet for Epic, that if somebody wants to screen capture that and send him some Epic 002 love, that would be awesome. I want to just acknowledge people out there that are doing things like this. So,
and I also want to acknowledge the role if you like something like this. So, Saleh Audu is his name, NGN Epic Leader. He doesn't just do this by himself. In order to do this, he's drawing on the resources of the broader community, and specifically John Ferris has stepped up to assist him and to mentor. So it requires the people on the ground, but it also requires the support network. And so what you're seeing here, Nigeria has become a real hotspot for us. NGN is doing great. And also there's another gentleman, Sleck, who's a business student. I can't remember the name of his university. But if we can do this and these guys can get this going, I mean, the second and third Epic Trash in Nigeria have already happened. They're working on the content, so that'll come out. I mean, what is there, 180 million population there or something? The market is enormous.
All right, I'm going to put in the chat support this or. I like that. I like support this or, and I'm going to enter, and then I will I'll paste in his address. So this is a Epic 002 address. So if anybody wants to copy and paste that, and right now go and send a little Epic 002 love. Let's do this as a 4-minute video. We will come back after we watch it. Can you hear that?
It's very low.
Can you hear it? No. All right. I'm going to stop share, everyone. And then I'm going to apologize. And then I'm going to say user error. I don't think I did the share sound. So that is my bad. And we're going to do this again. And here we go. I'll turn that up a little bit.
He said he wants to, buy $50 worth of Epic. But that's amazing, for someone to be influenced by my energy, my truth, and believe in me to the extent that he wants to buy $50 worth of Epic. A lot of people will be like, $50. Nah, like for the fact that he did.
All right, I'm going to stop this, and I just want everybody to know when he first sent this to me, I had a difficult time understanding it, so I suggested that he put some captions, which he did. And then I sent it back to him and I said, it's white on white. How about doing the captions in orange or different color? And he says, well, I would, Uncle V. He goes, but every time I make a change, I have to get on my bicycle and ride 1 hour each way to the videographer. So the fact that he did that to be able to get these captions in, let's make sure we read them. Okay.
Like he wants to do it. That's greatness to me, and that's why I'm making this video specifically for Crypto Pest, my brother. I've got you, I respect you, and I can't just.
What's up, guys? What's up, my fellow Nigerians, man? I'm a little bit stressed out right now, but I figured I'll do this anyway. So my fellow Nigerians, Me talking about Epic now is more about trying to say buy Epic, but I'll make you understand something today as a Nigerian. See, I'm saying talking with your Bitcoin wallet address. With your Bitcoin wallet address, person fee just get your BTC wallet address and see the Bitcoin for your wallet address. So that means you do not have true financial privacy with your Bitcoin. But with Epic, I can't have your Epic wallet address and know the amount of Epic you have in your possession. Something happened in Bali last month whereby a guy was actually robbed by 4 men. He was attacked, they beat him up until he unlocked his phone. You know why? Because they had his Bitcoin wallet address. So they had to beat him up until he unlocked his phone. They transferred $284,000 just because they had this Bitcoin wallet address. So this is me bringing this opportunity to you to know that you can have your true financial privacy, your true financial freedom, because a lot of people do not know the meaning of true financial freedom. They believe it's when you have let's say millions of dollars. But what's up when you have millions of dollars and you do not have the freedom to spend it anyhow you like? I will not be talking about CBDC today. I'll be talking about it in some other videos on my YouTube channel. But please, with CBDC, I ain't gonna say much, but you gotta be careful. In order for you to be safe with CBDC, man, you gotta choose Epic. And if you want to be successful with Epic, don't go to any other person. Go to www.epic.tech. That's the right website. And in order for you to get your Epic, go to www.buyepiccash.com. God bless you, from the leader of Epic Nigeria. Man, I'm stressed out, but for the love of humanity, for the love of Nigerians, God bless, man.
Well, I don't know about you. Somebody in the chat said inspiring, and I agree with you 100%. Don't know about you, but while I was watching that video, I just sent him 25 Epic. I love that initiative, that zeal. It's happening all across the world, whether it's Batuan in Turkey or this gentleman, it's just happening everywhere. It is a real quote unquote movement, if you will, for financial freedom. And it reminds me of something, Max, I want to share with you. I briefly touched on it just right before the show, but this is really interesting to me. So last night I'm in the Epic Cash chats, and there was someone, it was a new person I wasn't familiar with, named Naomi. And Naomi said, hey, I'm going to be attending this anti-censorship summit in Clearwater, Florida. If anybody is in the area would like to go, please let me know. So I'm like, hey, I live in Tampa, Florida. It's kind of part of, it's a tri-city, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, and Tampa. And so I messaged back and I said, well, not sure if you're aware, but I'm Uncle V and I cover Epic Cash. And that sounds really interesting on Saturday. Could you send me the schedule? And so this is what she sent, and blah, blah, blah. Here we go. It is go.studentsforliberty.org, Anti-Censorship Summit. So it's this weekend. And I'm not going to read through everything, but these are students that are all about freedom and liberty. And the speaking lineup, here's Clint Russell. He's the creator and host of the Liberty Lockdown podcast. Now, personally, I don't know him, but I guess he's kind of a big deal. And then there's Mike Abbey and Dr. Matt Metzger. I have heard of him, and Dylan Dean. So I'm going back and forth with Naomi, just trying to get the when, what time, and everything. And I said, yeah, I'd be happy to be there. I'd be happy to come. I'm looking forward to it. And she says, oh my gosh, that's so great. Clint Russell goes on at 4:30. Maybe I can get, I'll get him to go on a half hour later. Can you speak right before he does? And I'm like, what? Sure. So here it is, just perusing the chats last night. And this just shows that butterfly effect, I guess. So I'm going to be speaking at this tomorrow. And Mother Trucker, if you're watching, and I talked to Max about this before, what I'd like to do is organize an anti-censorship summit giveaway. So that's going to be part of my presentation, is let's you and me, Mother Trucker, spin up a group in Telegram that would be the Anti-Censorship Summit 1,000 coin giveaway. And that'll be part of what I present, is I will work towards getting every censorship sensitive person that is going to be attending that summit. In addition to these speakers, I'd like to give each one of these speakers 100 Epic, and let's say 600 Epic will go to the rest of the folks. But let's do that. But isn't that cool, Max? Just how life works sometimes.
Yeah, that's great. That's going to be really exciting. I like Clint Russell. The Liberty Lockdown podcast is awesome. I think we actually have him on the ECR OR Guild, the outreach team. I know he's on the list, or I think he is. So yeah, let's get him in the boat. Let's get his people there. Give him some coins. Absolutely.
Would it be of interest to you to have him on your DNA of Bitcoin, or is that just kind of
we have a dozen in the bag so far, and like recording more versus putting the effort into getting them out and promoting them. And there's a lot of work there. I'm going to be in Miami in May, and I'm going to do an in-studio follow-up interview with Leia on her channel. I think she's going to be number 1 or number 2 that comes out. Eric Voorhees from Shapeshift finally confirmed. That's been in the works for months. So Dustin and Darkstar are working on scheduling. So really, the vision for the DNA of Bitcoin platform, it's more than just a podcast. It's more than just a book. I want to get Kurt Wilkert in there, and people that believe that BCH is the one true Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Core maxis should be able to go in there and try and defend their vision of what Bitcoin is. It's really seeking the spirit of Satoshi. And so if I'm the only voice, then it's going to be kind of dominant and one-sided. I think it's stronger if we start getting other voices in there. So I'm going to pivot a little bit and get to the next phase of that mission.
Excellent. Mother Trucker is just saying, Uncle, we have resources. Don't ride your bike to do this. Ask our group. Batawan has a Fiverr. He can do amazing edits. Okay, that's great. Yeah, by the way, and what is his name? I'm crappy with names, Max, but the Nigerian leader.
Oh, Saleh Audu, Saleh. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that improperly.
I don't know how it came across for people listening, but to me, the balance, the music versus the voice, the music was just like twice as loud. So it really kind of blew out my ears.
And also, whoever's listening, NGN, if you're listening, or if somebody else can get the message, I'll probably forget, but let's make a point. I noticed that on the bottom, that the transcripts, instead of saying CBDC, whoever was doing the transcripts put CBTC and other minor edits like that. So usually what we do is that these things are a hive mind. He, bless his heart for wanting to do the whole job himself end to end, and then come back and say, look, I did this all by myself. Isn't it awesome? Yes, it is awesome. But it can be even more awesome by letting others help. So let's take that extra step to get the polish of the sound levels right. The colors on the subtitle. Also, there's no need to ride a bike for an hour if we've got somebody that can do it. Monkman, we've got lots of video talent. So thank you for taking that step. NGN, don't be shy about asking for help, because people love to do it.
Yeah. And I mean, look, Max, if we can just, if I can be a little open kimono here, don't think about that too much, people, because then you won't be able to get the visual out of your mind. But if I'm going to be open kimono, I can probably cite a dozen times where I have posted in our groups and I get a DM from you with a word that I misspelled that was circled. I love you, Telegram. Thank you for providing editorial liberty, because I can go back in and I didn't know the word douche didn't have an S. I'll never forget that. You're like, uncle, you called someone a douche. It doesn't have an S. So that was
like a douche. It was like maybe like a Hungarian pronunciation.
Oh, who has more fun than us? Okay, now I want to get into the really good stuff. I am going to
well, before Johnny jumps in, which he's coming any moment, let me just give a brief update on CoinStore and Change Now. So as of this morning, Pool Boy, Black Tiger, Sky King, Biz, Chronos, I know I'm forgetting people, but it's really been lots of oars in the water, their side and our side. We're working on an update, a more formal update with links and screenshots and all this stuff. But basically, it's all systems go. They're working on it. We had to overhaul our documentation. We had to package up some things to make it easier for them. As we saw from Bitmart, they didn't really have the technical capabilities to handle. Okay, they'll take the money, they'll do the listing, but people have to actually be able to deposit, to withdraw. It needs to work. So the fact that this is our second rodeo, not the first rodeo, goes a long way. And so CoinStore and Change Now are all systems go. Everything's going great. Still looking at the first for CoinStore. Hopefully that's still a target. But if it's not, it won't be much longer. Could even be before. And they're super stoked. So also their marketing people on both sides are talking to us as well. So we should get some additional exposure soon, because both of them are eager to promote to their user bases that now they can do stuff with Epic. So many positive catalysts coming in the next month or so.
Max, because uncle's gonna uncle. I always like to make sure there are new people who have come to our community who may not know who CoinStore is or Change Now. Can you please take maybe a minute or two for each and just let people know what they are and how it's going to impact Epic Cash?
So CoinStore is a mini Binance. They have about 1 million monthly active users, mostly emerging markets. Indonesia is a big one. India is a big one. Vietnam, Philippines. It's a big market out there, and that people are seeking alternatives. One great thing about CoinStore. So first off, they're Singapore based. So there's going to be no funny business with them vanishing out of business overnight. They're very conservatively managed. If you throw gum on the street in Singapore, they throw you in jail. So obviously, they're not going to have their hands in the cookie jar and steal people's money, or at least as close as we can be safe with anything centralized. I'm inclined to trust. I know they have 10 plus years of funding runway. They shared with me. Hopefully I'm not talking out of class, but that's a sign of strength. So you'll be able to swap in and out of the top 50 approximately approximately crypto assets. They have about 200 more coming between now and the end of the year. That's the number. So all your major ones you'll be able to get into and out of. Right now, if you want to buy Epic or sell, your only option is really BTC. And of course, the Tether rail is there, but the liquidity really isn't there. So the spread is high. Going forward with CoinStore, you'll be able to do Ether, XRP. I think they have XLM. They have all kinds of good rails. And the cool part is you can do up to $2,000 a day without KYC. So that's really exciting. If you want to do more than that,
do they have a fiat? Do they have a fiat on ramp then?
I don't think so. But we do have many solutions for fiat coming. So CoinStore is a mini Binance that I think in a lot of ways is better than Binance, or I will just say clearly, unequivocally for us, at least right now today, it's a better fit than Binance. Maybe we'll get big enough one day where it makes sense, to broaden our horizons. But for right now, this is a great step forward. The next one is Change Now, which is a swap service. So right now in the Epic Pay wallet, it has 3 buttons. It has send, receive, and wallet. There will be another button, or as close to 1 button, maybe it'll be 2, buy, sell, something like that, but at least 1, where if you have any of 800 other assets that you want to swap into or out of, you just do a few taps on the screen and Bob's your uncle. So the way that will work is, let's say you have Epic and you want to buy Monero. So it will say, okay, send your Epic here and post your Monero address. Boom, you send the coins, they send you back the Monero, or vice versa, and you're good. So being able to swap in and out of the top 800 crypto assets, that's what Change Now gets us. And then that sets the stage. One of their partners is called Gardarian, which will take another probably 6 weeks or so, maybe less, maybe a little bit more, but around there about, certainly over the course of this summer. Another option will pop up in the Epic Pay wallet, which says buy with debit or credit card. So if you have a debit card and you want to buy $100 worth of coins, okay, boom, 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 now you're done. So the ability to trade into and out of fiat and crypto is coming over the next couple months.
Our world changes when CoinStore, Gardaria, and Change Now are fully integrated. I will tell you, everybody, it's coming. Just letting you know now, Gardaria, which is that last mile, it is going to require another raise. It's not going to be a crazy one, but it is going to require the community to be able to step up. But for me, man, I'm going to be first in line on supporting that because
oh, absolutely,
man, oh man, that just changes. You know what? I mean, my God, how many of us are like, I have my uncle who literally, he has a shitload of money and he's like, I just don't want to go through all of the hassle. Can't I just use my credit card to buy this stuff? Yes, Uncle Bob Chorba.
All this stuff is coming. So Gardarian is not the only integration. There's another one called Ramp. There's another one called Simplex. There's another one called MoonPay, Wire. There's actually quite a few. And so just like when you go to Expedia and you say, I want to fly to Dallas on next Thursday, it says you can go American for this price. You can go United for this price. It will start out with just the one, but then over time we're going to plug in more, so you can get different price and availability options depending on which country you're in or what type of card you have. It gets to be very complicated, so it will end up being a marketplace for many solution providers rather than just one. And also because this is open, so there's a question in the chats saying, will this be on mobile wallet as well? So Epic Pay is a mobile wallet, and the functionality will be right in there, but it won't be the only one or the only thing. So the GUI wallet is going to integrate this as well. Buyepiccash.com, the website. And also, if you're listening out there, so NGN, as an example, could do a Nigerian Epic store in Igbo language or Pidgin or Yoruba or whatever. So what we're doing is an open architecture infrastructure for everyone to be able to provide reseller options on there. So I would say over the course of the next year or two, when we're having this conversation, a couple halvings from now, there might be dozens of purchase options, which is really exciting.
I just think that when you think of what's coming over the next 3 months, so I think change now. Hold on, Johnny just tried to come in. I think change now. I think coin store. I think the fact that we are going to, the SGT report and the exposure that's given us. And then before we start talking to Johnny, I want to discuss Mike Adams and I want to share
He just texted me, by the way.
I know, this is so
great.
Right
now. Again, the 100th time in 3 days.
You have to understand, we're cooking with gas now. You think of the halving that's coming. Epic Cash is no longer going to be on sale very, very soon. But I want to just notice somebody, Tom, it's Budas. Tom, I have to tell you, you distract me. Every time you come in, my inner me, I just think badass. That's a badass. So for me, all I know is you, in my mind, are the one that is going to go with me to the gym, because if you can't tell, I'm getting pretty ripped.
That's actually the guy that kicked Chuck Norris and Jean-Claude Van Damme's ass simultaneously.
So Tom, I hope you don't mind in the future. I'm going to say Tom Badass is in the house. I hope you're not sensitive. Okay, cool. All right, let's do this. I want to go, and this is really important. Does everybody know who Mike Adams is? Mike Adams is, if you go to naturalnews.com, the man is astonishing. His videos, when they drop on Brighteon, they get 500,000 to 1 million views. Okay? He is going to be interviewing Max in a few weeks. And he has been doing his due diligence on Epic Cash over the last 8 weeks. And he finally got to the point of comfort to where he did an outreach. He's mentioned us a couple times, but I want you to hear this. He mentioned us big time in this video. Okay, we are going to watch this until we get to the important part. So hang in there.
In Texas. So members of the Texas legislature, both in the House and the Texas Senate, have proposed a bill that would begin the process by September of this year of building a gold-backed digital currency backed by the state of Texas and, of course, backed by gold, held in the Texas Depository. And this digital currency backed by gold would be 100% redeemable for physical gold. This is amazing. This is, I mean, look, you know, I talked about this is coming, right? For years, I've had sources in the state of Texas that told me that Texas is preparing to have its own currency because, of course, the people in Texas, they know that the dollar is going to collapse at some point. They know that, you know, the U.S. Treasury will be bankrupt. The whole system will come crashing down. And when that happens, the states that are prepared with their own currencies, whether they be digital or paper currencies, those states will flourish as the rest of the states collapse. So this is something that I've talked about for quite some time. I knew it was coming, and this is a reason to stack gold. And I have a suspicion that silver will also be redeemable in this system. Silver may be a part of it, but gold for sure. This is a reason to stack gold, and again, I think silver, because if you're wondering, you know, what's your off-ramp? When do you convert that gold into something else, something that's more of a currency? Well, here's your answer. Here it is. State of Texas going to have a gold-backed digital currency system, and as part of the law, by the way, part of the bill, is that the state must have a transactional system that allows everyday people to use it for everyday purchases. So you would be able to buy a loaf of bread with a fraction of an ounce of gold, for example, using the digital wallet that is a token for gold. It's a representation of gold. Now, I know what you're saying. Some of you are already ahead of me on this, and you're saying, well, wait a second. Isn't this central bank digital currency? Isn't this an Orwellian spy system that can spy on people's transactions? Well, I haven't read the text of the bill, but knowing the reputation of the people who introduced it, I have no doubt that anonymity will be part of this bill, to where the state of Texas they don't want to know what you're purchasing, because again, this is an alternative to the central bank digital currency system, which is a surveillance grid. But we have to jump on this. You and I, those of us who are in Texas, I want you to call your state senators and state congresspeople and urge them to pass this bill. It's not even in committee yet, so urge them to take it up in committee, but also urge them to protect our privacy in the bill. Make sure that's part of this, because, you know, a gold-backed state-defended digital currency system could be a great idea for liberty and freedom, as long as it's not used to spy on people. But if it's a spy machine, then guess what? The people who believe in gold won't use it, because the people who believe in gold obviously are opposed to government spying on their transactions and purchase history and so on. They don't want the government to limit what they can do with money. So if there are limitations placed on this, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a gold-backed crypto or digital system. So it's either got to be completely anonymous, backed by gold, or the whole thing fails. No one will use it if it isn't.
Here we go.
And there are technologies, by the way, that can make this thing truly private, truly censorship resistant, surveillance resistant, and so on. Those technologies are out there. I've been watching videos about something that users recommended called Epic.tech, which I guess was created by a guy named, well, this is a pseudonym, obviously, but it's Max Freeman. And from what he describes, they've got what Bitcoin was originally supposed to be. They've got truly private, zero knowledge, end-to-end encrypted. Like, nobody can find out who you are. Nobody knows what you spent money on. Nobody can limit your spending, and so on. I mean, this is just an example, but these technologies do exist. So I think that the state of Texas.
Let me do that. All right. So that was it. But just from that, we've had many people come into our chats saying, Mike was talking about this. I just have to know more about it. So welcome to all of you who are coming over from Mike Adams' show. We hope we hope we can help you however you wish. So Max, I know that now you were saying, Max, that Mike was texting you every once in a while.
We probably exchanged a couple hundred messages in the past 3-4 days.
Right. So look, everyone, it's like we checked the box for Mike Adams, and now he is going to be, I don't know. He's a force of nature, and the fact that he gets it is just, it's amazing. I feel that this is just what we've been waiting for. We've been hoping for, praying for, is to be able to just have somebody with that high of a get it factor and that large of an audience. And keep in mind, this guy subs for David Knight on the David Knight Show. Alex Jones, he's subbed for Alex Jones. Everybody knows him. Max, I think, I don't think this is violating any confidence, but he shared with you that he has billionaires all the time who reach out and just, they want to know what they should invest in. And, when it comes to cryptocurrency, he's kind of a little gun shy as far as pointing them in this direction or that, because, crypto's a different animal. Now, of course, precious metals is very near and dear to his heart, as it should be to all of us. The fact that he has embraced Epic Cash, I cannot tell people how big of a deal that is. Max?
Yeah, he's running a node. He's mining. So and it's also a very interesting use case. Do we have Johnny on the line? Because I want to be respectful of his time. Are you with us, Johnny?
Johnny came in, and then I didn't get a chance to hit accept. So
no problem. We'll catch him later. And that I don't want to give that short shrift. We should probably dedicate as much time as we can on Friday to that.
Sure.
But yeah, absolutely. So he has a lot of people don't know this, but his natural news operation is close to $100 million in revenues. He ships about 1,000 orders a day of health food products out of his facility there. And so he's got a lot of IT infrastructure to serve the videos and accounting servers and warehouse computers and stuff. And so when he was talking about mining thing, is this an opportunity? I said, okay, well, you've got all this equipment, all these costs that you're paying regardless. What is your capacity utilization? Do you know? And he didn't miss a beat. He had the answer right away, 4%. So his equipment is idle 96% of the time. So he doesn't have a lot of GPUs, only a few, but he has a lot of CPUs. And so Yoga and Sky King are giving him the white glove service to get him set up with mining. I think he's mining to Epic Mine, I want to say, because it's the US stratum. So he's doing a deep diligence. And long story short, he's going to be putting his IT resources into supporting our network and earning revenue for himself through mining. And we're also talking about doing a thing where if you place a $100 order on Natural News, then the people that want to can get a $5 rebate in Epic, which he's not asking for a handout. I actually offered to do a donation, and he was like, "No, I'm good for money. Send it to your developers instead," which I thought was very classy. So he said, "We're happy to go to the open market and buy coins." He said that because he is who he is, that he has billionaires contacting him on a weekly, if not daily basis, saying, "Hey, how can we work together? What should I do with my money? Help me, Mike." And so he's doing the deep homework to get a comfort level and position himself along for our journey. And he sees almost direct verbatim quote, sees the possibility that this technology can help him take his revenues from 100 million scale to a multi-billion scale. So he gets it. And he's been a huge crypto skeptic for a long time. He was mining BTC in 2014 on solar, trying to make it work with the AMP miners, and discovered that that's not really, it's kind of a non-starter. So when super crypto skeptics flip, that's even more significant than when people that are crypto savvy say, "Hey, this is good." And I'm sure you noticed, I noticed in the chats, people starting to come in and say, "Hey, I'm a silver guy. I have bullets and ammo in my bunker here for the apocalypse at the end of the world. And I hate crypto, but if Mike thinks it's worth it, then or SGT, then I should take a look." So these contacts really punch above their weight.
These are our people. I know, Max, and you and I have gone around and around on this. I know you have in your heart that you just want to be able to flip this BTC Maxi and that BTC Maxi. And my point of view is, forget about them. Let's create epic Maxis from people like Sean at SGT Report and Mike Adams and whoever comes through their network. Let's create a whole new world of crypto holders. And that's where I get so excited when I hear somebody comes in and is like, "I'm a gold and silver guy. I don't know anything about crypto. What do I do? Where do I go?" T.me/Epic Cash. We have a welcoming committee, the best community in all of crypto. White gloves treatment. You don't have to be Mike Adams. You can just come into our T.me/Epic Cash, and we will give you the white gloves treatment, help you however we can. So no, this is just, man, if people can't get excited and pumped up, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. But I sure am excited about our developments, Max. And thank you for being born. Just want to say that, shout out to your mom and dad, and you know, and all of the automobiles that almost hit you that didn't. I really appreciate that. And we're in for a really exciting second half of the year. I can tell you all that. So, Max, anything else before we say sayonara to the
Yeah, so you mentioned tech. Biz has been making great progress on Ledger. So that's proceeding apace. Shout out to Marvelaws for funding that single-handedly. That was great. The next major thing that we need to build, and we don't have time for it today, but I want to put this out there. And if you're into it, then I suggest engaging with Johnny. He's eager to teach in Premine U. A lot of this stuff is really complicated and over my head, which is, if it's over my head, it's going to be inscrutable for most people that don't have the 20,000 hours in. But long story short, the DEX infrastructure, we all think in terms of, oh, Binance, Coinbase, crypto.com. If we're not on Kraken, how are we ever going to get buyers? Well, guess what? Those are shrinking. Those are under attack from the government. Those companies and those centralized platforms, their best days behind them. Meanwhile, the DEX landscape is exploding. So right now, centralized exchanges do, I think, like 50 times the volume of DEXs, something like that. But in 5 years, only 5 years, it will be the other way around. So imagine 2,500 times growth versus like shrinking for the centralized ones. Right. We need to place our bets there. So Johnny's been working for I want to say a year now. I mean, huge amount of research, time, also his money invested. There's been large number of people involved in doing the deep research on how to do this. So Johnny's startup Carthia is going to build the most kick-ass bridge crypto has ever seen. Wow. It's more of a protocol layer, a platform for moving value between different blockchains. So if you want to wrap your Epic into E1 tokens and then go and swap it, farm it, trade it, lend it, do EUSD, do all this stuff, we need to access the smart contract capabilities of EVM compatible Ethereum virtual machine platforms. And this is what enables us to do that.
Stop. I just want to plant a seed here. So whenever we have been talking about the bank of me and everything that gets everybody so excited, being able to borrow about yourself, ultimately, we need this built, correct me if I'm wrong, to operationalize that, right? So it's not just, I mean, we painted a wonderful future, but now from what I hear is it's not just about the X's and O's where, you know, we have this nice vision. It's about the Jimmies and Joes, the people that need to get it done. And Johnny is a Jimmy and Joe who he and his team have to now build this, right? Do I have that right?
Yeah, it's actually probably at least a dozen, if not a couple dozen people for the different parts. It's a major undertaking. Yeah. So the vision, what you're going to be able to do. So for $10 a year, you'll be able to buy what's called a Flex Pass from Premine Express. If you pay $10 a year in Epic or $100 in Fiat, so you could look at it as the price is $100 a year, and you get a 90% discount if you pay an Epic, or you pay 1,000% asshole tax if you insist on using war money that enslaves people. So let's say that we're going to be smart and people pay their $10. Then you can do unlimited swapping between let's say Tron to Binance Smart Chain to Avalanche to Ethereum. So you can go from any chain to whatever chain. If you like this one today, for example, Sub-Saharan Africa, they like Binance Smart Chain, and in a lot of Asia, they like Tron, but that changes a lot. So you'll be able to move your value around from chain to chain and get that scarcity benefit of Epic while opting out of the confidentiality of it. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, I happen to run a number of businesses, and Epic is not a suitable tool for those businesses. Why? Because it has the confidentiality. We need to have accounting, we need compliance, we need triple entry bookkeeping, and to use the transparency features of the ledger. So the native currency that my companies are going to adopt, like MicroStrategy moving to BTC, my things are going to use E1 as their treasury currency. And so that creates a demand for the wrapped versions. People will be able to earn a spread by taking their Epic, matching that with ECR, and going and creating E1. So if you remember the movie E1 or ET, I have E1 on the mind. If you remember the movie ET, where it has the two fingers touch in that classic scene, and then they glow, or the Transcontinental Railroad, where they drive that last golden spike in to connect the two coasts. This is kind of like that. There's a tremendous amount of latent back pressure and market demand that we really can't meet because we've been isolated on our own island. And so Carthia enables that. You'll be able to stake and farm and bond and lend out your Epic and do yield. So just right there alone, I mean, that probably adds, Johnny said 1000x is a realistic expectation, and he's not a hyperbolic guy. So even if we only add 1 or 2 zeros, I mean, what would it do for your portfolio if Epic becomes $15 instead of 15 or whatever? And also more liquid. I mean, right now we're really constrained of people being able to move value in and out because of the particulars of where we trade. So all that is going away. There will be the current roadmap is ultimately there's 70 different EVM, 72 I think EVM compatible blockchains, and more coming every day. So we've got the first 16, I'm not exaggerating, the first 16 versions of the roadmap of which formats are going to come out is already on the map. So when we say Epic everywhere, we mean it.
Such a shit coin.
Thing is terrible.
Max, you just mentioned something that I don't want people to, not consider. You mentioned being able to wrap your Epic, and then you threw in that 3-letter ECR. And I want people to really understand it's going to happen, Max. I'm going to keep putting a little pressure on you, saying what needs to happen to distribute the ECR. And I know your answer is everybody has to step up, but you know what? Obviously nobody's stepping up because it's not being released. So let's figure.
Well, no, lots are just there's a lot to do. So shout out to Joey, shout out to Islo, shout out to Levi, shout out to Ryan Comiskey. There's a massive amount of work. It's up to 300 pages, the documentation for that.
Everybody, Uncle V is the stir in the paint. So every once in a while I just kind of have to go like this, and that's my job. But the reason why I'm doing it is because I love you. And I want you to know that when ECR is released to the wild, there's going to be many of you who may be tempted and say, ooh, cool, found money. I can go dump it for 5 cents on the dollar. Great. Well, that is going to be to your own ultimate demise and for the benefit of a lot of smart people who are going to be there ready to scoop it up, because our whole future relies on marrying Epic with ECR to create the bank of me, the wrapped Epic. Am I right, Max? I just want people to really understand.
Exactly. So let's say you have $1,000 worth of Epic, and we execute on our roadmap, and now you have $1 million worth of Epic, and I think that is realistic. So now you have your $1 million, and you want to go buy a car, and it's hyperinflation. So your 2006 Honda Civic with 400,000 miles costs you, I don't know, 25 grand, let's say. So to get a $25,000 loan in EUSD, what you have to do is put up $50,000 worth of Epic into the Bank of Uncle V smart contract with a corresponding amount of ECR. That's market driven. We don't know the specific number, but just like you can't watch a Netflix movie without being a member, and you can't get into Costco without their membership, same sort of thing here. The access pass, the gate, the thing that gets the gate to go magic sesame so you can, or open sesame so you can get into the amusement park, is ECR. You can't do all this cool stuff without it, which you want to keep in mind when you're thinking of dumping. So you have your Epic, you have your ECR, you wrap it, and you create E1, and then you have your coins safely in a smart contract vault that you control, that you can withdraw those coins at any time. How? By paying off your loan. So you borrow against your holdings, go use the loan to proceeds to buy the car, and let inflation drive down the value of the loan while your coins appreciate. Rinse, repeat, do that again. So if you're thinking about Epic just as Epic unto itself, that's a strong value proposition, but it's not nearly as strong as an element in the overall equation of being able to do the advanced capabilities.
And Max, I write everything down that is my intention. So do you know what I wrote down for my intention of what I'm going to do when I get my ECR? I wrote it down.
I think, weren't you saying that you were a little self-conscious about your inner thighs? You wanted to do a little liposuction?
No, read it, baby. Not a damn thing. I'm protecting my ECR like it was, like I'm a mama bird protecting eggs. Okay, before we leave, I want to share my screen and suggest everybody, please go to SGT Report. Please bookmark sgtreport.com. And I'm sure there is a way. I know that I subscribe to Sean. I listen to him through my podcast. So go to your favorite podcast store and search for SGT Report. But today you're going to see, right now it's Red Alert, Planet Ponzi demolition is the top one. But at some point in time today, it's going to be the interview of Max and me with Sean up there. And I promise it's going to be a good one. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. So let's show lots of support there. And please, please, please look in Sean's show notes. And when you find a QR code that is his receive address for donations, let's, as a community, thank Sean. This was not pay to play. We didn't pay to get him on, but after the fact, we can sure show our appreciation. So I hope every one of you watching out there appreciates the positive press that we're going to get here and the number of new Epic community members that are going to come in, acquire Epic Cash. And then it's just kind of that butterfly effect, things that are going to happen from there. Last time we did an interview with Sean, we got Sky King from it. And he has just been the most amazing member of our community as just a tech leader. It's just an overall great guy. And so I hope there's 10 more that come from this interview, 10 more Sky Kings. Max?
Yeah, I just want to point out something up on the screen. It says, what is it? You could win 500 Silver Eagles. So 500 Silver Eagles, if you've ever carried a monster box of Silver Eagles, it's about 33 pounds. So wow, that's pretty heavy. If you try to carry 2, you'll throw your back out. So the physical logistics involved, a 500 box of Silver Eagles. If you go to sell them, you'll get a couple bucks south of spot. So let's say, 20, 22 bucks, something like that. So you're carrying a 33 pound thing around for $10,000 worth of value. And then when you go to sell them, which I've actually done, they have to open up the box and they have to check each coin individually. It comes with, I think, 20 or 25 tubes in there. And so when you go to the guy that came into the chat and says, oh, crypto sucks, I love silver. Okay, well, go to transact with actual silver and factor in your time and the spread and the fact that there's not a lot, but there is counterfeit silver. That's more of a problem with gold. McMurphy, if you're listening, please do an analysis on silver. I know we have the gold one. We outperformed gold by 16,000% over the past 3 years. And so I think silver didn't even keep up with gold. So we're probably 20,000% better than gold. So if you had a monster box of silver and you sold it in 2020 to buy Epic and you wanted to go back to silver, you would have, 20 boxes of silver, 6,600 pounds, 6,600 pounds of silver from, I mean, it's alchemical. So you're really doing yourself a disservice if you are clinging to old ideas of what wealth can and should be.
But doesn't that mean, since we had that kind of performance, that our ship has sailed, that people who didn't get in?
It's too late. I mean, market cap's already 20 million bucks. I mean, there's this dog token out there. It doesn't do anything, but it's kind of fun. You can buy a dog token for a couple $100 million. I mean, so we're only 10% of the way there. I'm being facetious, of course. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it keeps coming back to it, that this maxim of everyone gets the price they deserve. There's this idea in economics called Veblen goods, I think it is, where if you've ever wondered why Gucci purses or Fendi, stuff is so expensive, the higher the price goes, the more people want it. So Epic at $1.50 is chopped liver. Get that out of my face, bro. My lasers are glowing. But as we go up in price, intuitively, that actually makes us more attractive to a large segment of population.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I've witnessed that dynamic. I believe that once we blow through $5, people are going to be coming out of the woodwork to buy.
Well, we saw that in December. I mean,
yeah, we did.
If you've looked at our chart, December 2021, that big spike, people wanted to front run the Bitmart listing. We went from what, 50, 60, 70 cents, certainly not more than $1, boom, to $7 essentially overnight.
Yeah, crazy.
And so, I mean, I don't know what people are waiting for. I mean, are you going to wait until the third week of April and go, oh, okay, now coin stores next week, let me hop on that? Right. I mean, if you know it's coming, if you're paying attention, why not right. go now?
Right. Way less stress, just planning in advance.
Yeah, I mean, timing the market is hard, and being an active trader requires skill, patience, discipline. You're paying a trading spread. The dollar cost averagers have trounced active traders, not just in our market, but in pretty much all markets.
And you know what I want to end on, Max? When we get Gadarian and other fiat on-ramps, and we have the easy button within Epic Pay wallet, do you know how easy dollar cost averaging is going to be to the normal human being? To be able to just say, okay, I have an extra $200 this pay period, I'm going to do Epic Cash.
I do, because Premine Express has a thing called Snowball Savings coming, where you'll be able to set it on autopilot and just have it ding you, $10 a day, or $50 a pay period, or $500 every 2 weeks, or $1. I mean, I don't know the specific parameters, but the capacity to put it on autopilot is definitely coming. And part of why E1 is so important is you'll actually be able to acquire not just E1 and other stuff, but all of our assets, or most of our assets, at a discount through a process known as bonding. So there's a lot of tokenomics techniques from the 23,000 altcoin experiments that have been out there that we can bring to bear here.
Such a shitcoin.
I know, thing is terrible, and it's so expensive. But I got to go. My battery's dying. This has been wonderful. Love you, everybody. So
thank you.
We'll talk again Friday.
All right. See you, buddy. Everybody in the chat, thank you. And we will see you at Friday, noon Eastern time, or